Hello everybody. It's White and Nerdy Man, everybody's favorite on-again and off-again YouTuber slash trying to be a Let's Player extraordinaire. Welcome to my newest Let's Play. I feel like I have another one every other week, but dagnabbit, whenever I find a good game and I play the heck out of it, I just want to share it, especially when it's a roguelike. These are such excellent candidates for Let's Plays. So this game, it really needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce it anyway. It is Slay the Spire, a deck-building card game slash roguelite that is very tactical, very challenging, and a whole heck of a lot of fun. I just got it over the weekend and I've put over 17 hours into this sucker, and I've only won once. And that is a daily run instead of the normal Slay the Spire runs. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I wanted to go ahead and start this Let's Play. We have a brand new, fresh slate save file, and we're just going to hop right into it. Notice the only mode that we have unlocked right now is Standard. I'm hoping to, once we unlock it, actually go through and have like two separate video series going for this one. One with the standard runs, and then every day record the daily climb, just for fun. I really like the daily climbs in this game. They're a ton of fun. This whole game is just absolutely well crafted, incredible, pleasing to look at. But let me quit yammering. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So from the get-go, the only class that we have available to us until we play through some more is the Ironclad. The Silent is unlocked by completing just a single run. And then the last class, the Defect, is completing run with a Silent. So we got a little bit of ways to go, a couple videos before we can unlock the extra classes. So we're going to start with the regular Warrior class, the Ironclad. Each class has their own special quirks and abilities. He is the remaining soldier of the Ironclads, sold his soul to harness demonic energies. His ability is Burning Blood. At the end of each combat, heals 6 HP. That's very useful. And we have some permanent progression to unlock new cards. Let's go ahead and just dispense with the pleasantries and keep on going. So as you can see, we have different paths to get to the top of each level of the Spire. There are 50 floors in total, and we're on floor number 1. We can pick our starting path, but we are constrained to go into whichever one of these dots where they lead is our option. So if we pick here, we can only go here and here. If we pick here, here, and here, and etc. and so on. Depending on the character class, and I guess depending on how combat goes, I like to give myself plenty of options, but similarly, it might depend on what kind of build you're going for. That's the beauty of this game, is that you really have some complexity in what kind of builds you can choose. But for now, let's just go ahead and be a little bit brave. Just head for this room right there with the intent of going to the next question mark. Here's a little bit of a tutorial. I know the basics, but just for those of you who don't, each card requires energy to play. Once you're out of energy, you can't play any more cards unless if the card costs 0 energy. Once you're out, you gotta end your turn, etc. Each turn, energy is completely replenished. You have block, and that only lasts for a single turn, unless if you have the special cards or relics or abilities, but we'll get to that as we go. I won't bombard you with too much information, and we can see just what the enemy is trying to do this turn. So guess what? I'm ready. Are you ready? Well, let's just say we're ready and keep on going. So we have our very first combat ever as the Ironclad. We have a very basic first hand. Defend, strikes. We know that this guy is going to be attacking us for 5 damage, so we can go ahead and immediately negate that with Defend, if we so wished. Now these guys are special. You can see below each enemy, of course, their HP, but also any kind of buffs that they have going on. This guy, once he gets attacked, he's going to receive 3 block. So whatever damage I do to him, he's going to have 3 extra HP that turn. So I want to be sure that we do our math right, and we are going to be able to capably eliminate him for this turn. My suggestion is, although we're going to get a little bit of a debuff, unfortunately, please pardon my barking dogs, we will actually be able to kill this guy, because he's only going to have a maximum of 18 health. Each strike does 6 damage. We got 3 energy, so let's go for that. Strike 1, strike 2, and Strike 3, you're out. We didn't even have to worry about defend. We're going to end the turn. But yeah, I just wanted to just hop right into this game. Whole ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I am. I really enjoy making these Let's Plays, as I always say. It's just a ton of fun to be able to do this. Okay, so next situation, we are weakened. Now each stack that you see there is not how many times the effect is stacked, it's just how many turns that effect is going to last. So we deal 25% less damage for 2 turns, which is unfortunate, but all he's going to do is just debuff us again, so we have some wiggle room to work with. We are going to use this card, which costs 2 energy, as you can see, to apply 2 vulnerable, which, if you hover over the card, back over the card, vulnerable creatures take 50% more damage from attacks. We will bash him first over the head. Oh, and block is temporary. As I said, it fades each turn. So he only has 7 HP left for the next turn. He's probably going to debuff us again with the same debuff. So we're just going to have it annoyingly for 3 more turns. Tip, no more cards. If there are no more cards to draw, your discard pile is shuffled into the draw pile. Yeah, that's just bare bones. A lot of builds are kind of centered around that principle, actually. And you know what? We can just go ahead and bring it on home. Strike, and strike. Dead as a doornail. As you can see, I healed, even though I didn't need to heal. I just didn't take any damage this round. We get money. We can get a random potion, of which we can use at any time during any combat. Gain 1 artifact. Now, artifact is really cool. It negates the next debuff. That'll be handy. Yeah, drink or throw potions during combat. Yeah, we got the gist of that. Alright. Now, here's where it gets interesting, where we get to add cards to our deck. Tip, power cards. This card applies a power card to you when used. Yeah, power cards are something that lasts through the entire combat, or if they have a set duration, it'll say it on the card. So, we can choose 1 card to roll with. We can do Inflame, which lets us gain 2 strength, Metallicize. At the end of the turn, gain 3 block. Useful, another power. Or Clash, can only be played in your card if every card in your hand is an attack. It deals 14 damage. This is a pretty risky card from personal experience. I say we just go ahead and go with something a little bit more bare bones for this run, and that's just Inflame, simple strength increase. You guys can feel free to decry my decisions as I go along. I will try to make the most informed ones, but likely we can end up in a pretty big of a snag. This game is pretty difficult. And we're going to go to the question mark, which is a random event for our next floor. As you come to a dead end and begin to turn around, walls slam down from the ceiling, trapping you. 3 faces materialize from the walls and speak. Forget what you know, and I'll let you go. I require change to see in new space. If you want to pass me, then you must grow. So we can forget to remove a card from our deck, we can transform a card in our deck, or we can upgrade a card in our deck. I always am a sucker for just the straight upgrades. So we are going to go for Inflame. We could do 3. We can get 3 strength each turn, or just 3 strength in general, which will be good. I feel like that might need to stack with other cards, though, so let's do something a little bit more practical. Let us upgrade Bash to make it more potent. It'll apply an extra stack of Vulnerable. Satisfied, the walls in front of you merge back into the ceiling, leaving a path forward. So let's keep going. This next one is going to be a shop. Don't have a whole lot of gold to work with. Honestly, probably should have done the other combats, but we'll just have to take with what we can get. At least see what he has for sale. So we have Shrug It Off, gain 8 block, draw a card. We have Flex, gain 2 strength at the end of this turn, lose 2 strength. We definitely can't afford that, so not even going to worry about that. Enemy loses 9 strength this turn, Exhaust. That'll be good for massively debuffing an enemy. This would be a good one. Perfected Strike, deal 6 damage, deal 2 additional damage for all your cards containing Strike. Meaning to look at my deck, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including that one. So that would be 16 damage total. It's definitely not bad. Exhaust non-all attack cards in your hand, deal 16 damage. That's pretty good too. Let's go ahead and go for a Perfected Strike. I don't want to get too many too expensive cards in my hand. And you also don't want to get into the temptation of just having too many cards in your deck in general. It's just interesting to see how each run pans out. So what we are going to do is I'm actually going to go to the next question mark and see what kind of random event we'll encounter. As you make your way down a long corridor, you see a banana, a donut, and a box floating about. No, upon closer inspection, they are tied to strings coming from holes in the ceiling. There is a quiet cackling from above as you approach the objects. What do? Heal 26 HP, get max HP plus 5, or obtain a relic and get Cursed, which Cursed is a debuff card that gets shuffled into your hand. We technically have HP to spare, but I'm just going to go with the, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to go with the straight upgrade of plus 5 HP. It's better to make this character tanky with a lot of different builds. We're just going to keep on seeing how this pans out. We're going to second combat here. Each one of these videos I think is going to be a floor, except for whenever we unlock the daily climb. That's going to be a whole video in and of itself, just the whole kit and caboodle. That'll be the longer series for sure. But anyhow, so we're going to be taking 8 damage from this guy this turn. And this guy does... That'll probably be a slime, which will put negative cards into our draw pile. Pardon me for just one moment, if you would. We are back! Much apologies, just got a phone call from our wife. So, as I was saying, we're going to get a debuff from him, debuff and damage for him, and a straight debuff from which this guy, I know he will do a weakened, which will lower our attack. Very annoying. But what can we do? We can technically afford to take a little bit of damage since we heal 6 HP at the end of each combat. So I really don't want that attack debuff, so we're just going to go ahead and kill that dude and gain 5 block. We'll only take 3 damage, not too shabby, but we'll get some slime cards, as you can see, shuffled into our discard pile. So we'll have a chance to draw that next time. Okay. So if we deal 10 damage and apply 3 vulnerable, he will take 50% more damage, which will take 9. That definitely will not be enough to kill him, but I can at least get some vulnerable on him for the next 3 turns. We'll block again. As I said, feel free to criticize my decisions. Hey, if you have any tips, leave them in the comments. Although I played for 15 hours, I don't consider myself an expert at this at all. It's such a good but nuanced game. Oh yeah, and we'll be able to finish him off. One hit wonder with Perfect Strike. And we healed for 6 HP. Got 10 monies, another Ancient Potion. That'll be useful for certain enemies and bosses. And we have another chance to add more cards to our deck. Perfected Strike is really good, but I don't want too many expensive cards in my deck. We'll do Cleave, deal 8 damage to all enemies. That's strictly better than Strike. So we might want to consider deleting one of our strikes after that. We have the option to go to the campfire, which in the campfire we can rest to regain HP, or smith to upgrade a weapon. Or we could be brave, and we could challenge the elite enemy. So let's go ahead and go for that. These guys, particularly annoying. I will probably say that about multitudes of different enemies, but... yeah. We will deal 18 damage. Pardon me. We'll block. So we will receive 4 damage. I imagine that we will not be able to get out of this battle very unscathed. And unfortunately, those guys are shuffling negative cards into our deck. 4 of those that turn. But of course, it's a cycle where we're going to take 18 damage this turn if we don't do something. I am not crazy about that. And if you notice, these guys each have a positive buff. Artifact, which negates 1 debuff. So even if we do apply, and to clarify, 1 debuff is 1 type of debuff. It doesn't matter how many stacks it is. It'll negate that debuff entirely. It's multiple debuffs that it won't negate, if that makes any sense. So Bash will basically avail us nothing, unfortunately. So we're just going to block and just keep wailing on this dude. Unfortunately, we'll be taking 8 damage. We can't let that drag on for too much, and we're going to eventually start getting those dazed into our hands. We already have 6 in our deck. Yeah, 8 damage. Not extremely thrilled about that, but the show must go on, as they say. Especially if I do Inflame, which will increase my strength. That won't kill him. Crap. Okay, let's go ahead and do Cleave. Do damage to all these yahoos. And just strike and strike, just to get at least one out of the way. We're going to get a ton more dazed cards. That will potentially snarf up one of our turns. Yeah, just like now. Oh no, this is not favorable circumstances at all. Well, the turn essentially plays itself. Strike, strike, defend. We're going to take 13 damage. We're whittling these guys down, though. It's early in the run. It's an elite as well. We knew the risks going into it. Oh, so freaking close. Yeah. Perfected strike and then strike just to kill that one. Now, this card has ethereal, as you can see here. The card in your hand, if this card is in your hand at the end of this turn, it is exhausted. Exhausted cards mean that they are out of combat permanently. And in the case of regular cards in your deck, if they are exhausted, then they'll show up at the beginning of next combat. But thankfully, those stupid little debuff cards won't show up. I'm debating as to whether or not I should just defend. Yeah. At this point. Sorry, playing this one a little bit slow, but I want to demonstrate some skill, you know? For once, not be a scrub. Impress to interwebs. Let me see. Let us go ahead and inflame to just do a straight increase of our damage. Wail on this guy with Perfected Strike. And I think next turn, as long as we don't draw like 16 million dazes, we should be fine to kill this dude. Of course not. Of course not. So, defend, strike. We're going to take a little bit of damage. Not extremely pleased, but we should get some rewards to justify this little bit of insanity. Oh yeah, and just make with the death. Get out of here. And we got some more money. Centennial Puzzle. Now, relics are one of the coolest parts of this game. Kind of like gives me a Risk of Rain vibe. They can really make or break your run. But Centennial Puzzle, the first time you lose HP each combat, you draw 3 cards. Very useful. Yeah, relics found throughout the Spire grant unique bonuses and remain throughout your run. They can be found by defeating powerful foes or within chests. Yep, got it. Spoils. Alright, let us see here. We have Battle Trance. Draw 3 cards. You cannot draw additional cards this turn. Clash. 14 damage if there's no other cards besides attack in your hand. Or Iron Wave. Gain 5 block. Deal 5 damage. Strictly better than one of our defends, which is just 5 block. That's actually, Battle Trance is not bad because we're not really going for a huge card draw kind of deck, and that might give us an upper hand on foes that give us a ton of debuff cards. And it costs 0, so why not? Okay, so now we have a little bit of a choice. We can go for another combat, potentially with that another healing, or we can go to another unknown or encounter, which these unknowns have a chance to be just combats in disguise. So there's always an element of unpredictability to each and every run. Gotta love this game. Let me see. Let's go question mark, just to see. Okay, this is interesting. You come across a dead adventurer on the floor. His pants have been stolen. What? Also, he looks to have been eviscerated and chopped by giant claws. Though his possessions are still intact, you're in no mind to find out what happened here, so we're going to go ahead and search the loot. I happen to know this, I guess this is subject to change each time you find this event. It's a different elite enemy, if I remember correctly. So this one happens to be one that I'm familiar with. We'll probably be able to beat him, actually, if he happens to show up. We got a relic. Strawberry, upon pickup, raise your max HP by 7. Pretty nifty. Let's just keep going. Let's keep pressing our luck. And, of course, he shows up. While searching the adventurer, you are caught off guard. So this is technically one of the elite enemies that has a chance to spawn. He's a bit annoying, but I have confidence in this, and he intends to inflict a powerful negative effect on you. But I say, artifact! Give me just one moment. Apologies again, we are back once more. Once again, phone call from the wife. She's out grocery shopping, so I had to get the play-by-play on that. But, speaking of play-by-play, let us go ahead, and we already popped an artifact potion, so that should get rid of one of the debuff that he's going to be placing on us. Perfected Strike, and just regular Strike. We're going to start whittling this dude down. Siphon Soul. So, in negate it, as you can see, he applied 2 different debuffs. One is decreasing my strength, which is actually incredibly annoying. And then the other one, I believe, was decrease my dexterity. So, we're going to go ahead and Inflame to replace some of that lost strength. Battle Trance to draw some cards. He's going to be dealing 18 damage, which will be slightly painful. Yeah, that is going to hurt. We could negate 10 of that. It'd only take 8 damage. Let's just go hardcore, because there's going to be, if we look back on the map here, I would say there's going to be a rest, but it's going to come to another combat, so we'll to heck with it. We'll just bash him, get some vulnerable going there, and just eat the damage a little bit. We'll be fine. And plus we'll get more card draw, thanks to the Centennial Puzzle. We got bash again, actually. Yeah, 7-7. Ugh, this guy's not making it easy for us. So we're going to go ahead and do Battle Trance again. Cannot draw any more cards, but that is fine. Defend, I say. Defend, I also say. And then we're just going to do Cleave, which does the most damage. And we're going to take 8 damage. He's going to go for another debuff. So honestly, this is the perfect time to get a little bit crazy. And I think next turn, ever so possibly, we might have enough to kill him, but he's going to lower our strength a little bit. It just took our strength down to normal, which is fine. We still don't Battle Trance. You gotta come through for me, man. Still don't have quite enough to kill this dude. No matter what way we strike. No matter what way we slice it. Defend's not going to be as effective for us. 10 damage, apply the vulnerable. That'll be just... just above what we need to kill him. You know what? Only I had another energy. Perhaps this is a more foolhardy decision. We've lost way too much health for me to feel comfortable. Let's just, yeah. Hopefully he has something that will heal us to max. Of course, we got a little bit of healing going on there. Got some money. No relic this time, except for the one that we picked up. Burning Pact, exhaust 1 card, draw 2 cards, Body Slam. We'll just skip. None of those cards look appealing to me. You do have the option to skip card rewards each and every time you do that. We're going to go to the next question mark. Hope it's a beneficial thing. Okay. Among the stone and boulders, you notice an intricate large blue statue resembling a wing. You find gold spilling from its cracks. Maybe there's more inside. Let's just destroy it, just to get the money. I don't feel like removing the card right now, per se. And we have a treasure chest. These chests are awesome. They'll contain relics. 68 gold, cha-ching, and Bottled Flame, such an awesome relic. Upon pickup, choose an attack. Start each combat with this card in your hand. That is super handy. we're going to guarantee that Perfected Strike is always going to be in that hand. That is awesome. Okay, if we can survive this upcoming combat, we can make it to a campfire. We can forego the next elite enemy. If we play our cards right, no pun intended, then we should come out victorious. So yeah, let's go ahead and just smack the crap out of this dude with Strike. He should be fairly easy to kill. 22, I had famous last words. But yeah, Slay the Spire. Once again, such an interesting tactical game. Just one of those ones I've had on my wish list, but it finally went on sale on the Steam Summer Sale. Right now, I believe it's currently like $12. Well worth it. Even at its full price, it was well worth it. But I'm a wee bit of a cheapskate myself. What I'm going to do here... Battle Trance. To get some more card draw action. We are going to Inflame, Defend, just to negate all that damage. And we're going to have enough to hit a lot harder next turn to keep killing this guy, because as you can see with his ability, Ritual, he gains 3 strength per turn, so he'll just keep stronger the longer we fight him. Battle Trance. Perfected Strike and Strike for the win. Heck yeah. Gain some HP. 12 gold, Fairy in a Bottle. When you would die, healed to 10 max HP instead of... Heal to 10% of your max HP instead, and discard this potion. Basically, extra life. I will gladly take that. Add a card to your deck. Battle Trance seems to be working out pretty well for this current build. We're not really using a whole lot of block for this to be extremely effective. Clothesline, once again, I want to avoid expensive cards for now, unless we can get some cards or relics that increase our energy count. I'm going to skip card reward. No, I don't want... I get it, but I want to skip it. There you go. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and rest up. Yeah, I'll try not to be too duh or self-explanatory about all these mechanics. So feel free to leave me feedback if I just need to shut up a little bit more about the mechanics and just keep pushing forward. We're going to rest to heal some HP. That looks a lot better than what it was before. We are going to avoid the elite Huanga Dunga there, and we are actually very close to our first boss. So we're just going to go straight to the next combat. Alright, this guy is going to be annoying, because if you look, once again, it is, let's see, he's going to steal 15 gold whenever he attacks. And his attacks hurt right off the bat. Fun stuff already. I'm going to go ahead and block up. It's only going to mitigate half of the damage, which is fine. Perfected Strike, just to get a good cut in there. And he's going to steal just a little bit of money, but it's okay. We will persevere. No, I don't want to give you my gold, you cheapskate. We could go ahead and negate a lot of the damage right off the bat, or all the damage, at the cost of dealing our own damage. But he'll only have 18 HP, which 3 strikes, he's going to be dead. He mugged me and took some of my money. He's going to try to defend next turn. And guess what, buddy? 3 strikes. You're out. I felt like that we did things better that turn, and we'll be able to rest and recover at the next campfire. Yeah, you want to make sure that you kill that enemy before he has a chance to flee, otherwise he will take the money that he stole from you. It'll be gone forever. Okay, now here's a good chance to synergize with our build a little bit. For those of you familiar with Northern Lion and Binding of Isaac terminology, we have a lot of synergy potential. If you remember, Perfect Strike says, deal 2 additional damage for all of your cards containing Strike, and look what we have here, Pommel, Strike, good job. So we're definitely going to take that. It's just a good card in general. We're going to proceed. I honestly just want to go to the next question mark. I don't want to really risk too much combat before the next boss. We do have the option to go to Elite if we feel really daring. We can pray to this. Before you lies an elaborate shrine to Forgotten Spirit. We can transform a card. Transforming a card can be risky because it can really mess up a build that you're going for, so I'm going to leave it alone. We're going to go to next question mark, which happened to be a combat in disguise. How much of a jerk move is that? It's a lot of a jerk move. So I say, go ahead and use Perfected Strike to kill the termite here, the louse. Battle Trance just to see if we have any other options. Just go ahead. We're going to defend. We're not going to block all that damage. We're going to take 6 from the lovely jaw worm there. But because we had HP damage, we got 3 card draw. He is going to block and apply a buff on himself. So we really want to make sure that we get him good and dead. I'm considering my options here. We could do Pommel Strike to go ahead and draw a card. We do Bash to make him more vulnerable for the next turn. Because I think Perfected Strike Plus is going to be in my next draw pile. He's going to have a considerable amount of block. And he's going to make himself just a bit stronger, so his attack is going to sting a bit more. Yeah, we're going to deal 20 damage. This should kill him. Bam! Dead. Restored basically the HP that we lost, so that's good. Skill Potion, choose one of 3 random skill cards and add it to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. We'll take that. Choose a card. Reckless Charge, deal 7 damage, shuffle a Dazed into your draw pile. Dark Embrace, whenever a card is exhausted, draw 1 card. We really don't have a build that's going around that, so I'm going to leave that alone. Anger, deal 6 damage, add a copy of this card into your discard pile. That, I really like Anger, actually. It's a fun one to use. Just basically, I just envision the character just going, ah, and just beating the crap out of whatever comes up. We're going to heal up. We're going to get to this boss fight, and we're going to kill it. We're going to make it dead. So we're going to go ahead and rest. And we are actually right at the HP level that we need. We have a lot to work with. We also have an extra life in case if things go really sour. So first boss, everybody, we can do this. We can kill it. If it bleeds, we can kill it. He's going to go defensive. So I say just go ahead, strike him, Anger, and he's interesting because each time that he takes a certain amount of damage, he is going to shift modes. So we're going to go ahead and plink him. We have a copy of Anger discard pile, and he's switched over to defensive mode. So he already has a good bit of block up, but we did a considerable amount of damage to him in the first turn. So that's good. Now, each time that we attack him, we're going to take a little bit of damage thanks to his most recent buff. So let's go ahead and do Battle Trance just to give ourselves a little bit more options. I say he's going to attack us for 9 damage. We can afford to get plinked for 3 damage. That's no big deal at all. Let's Pommel Strike him. It hurts just a little bit. We also got more card draw because of Centennial Puzzle. Let's do Cleave and Defend. We'll take 4 damage, but we're wearing him down already, actually. I'm comfortable with the level of damage that we're doing right now. Now that's going to hurt. He's going to use a buff and attack for 8 damage twice. So that's going to be a little bit problematic. I say defend, defend, and just whack him for a little bit of damage. And I think whenever he buffs, he's going to give himself more strength. So we already got him about 1/3 of the way down, or 1/4 of the way down, which is good. That is going to hurt. Let's do Battle Trance. And we might actually be able to deal enough damage to him where it's going to make him shift modes again. Yeah. Because with anger, 16, 27 plus 22 is 49. So yeah, we'll have more than enough. Whack him. Pommel strike. Yeah, deal 11 damage, draw a card. Can't draw any cards, actually. Never mind. Because we played, yeah, the other card. Can't remember what it's called. And he's going to shift modes. I'll just go ahead and attack anger. Just get the anger stacks coming up. I suppose we don't necessarily want to pollute our decks too much more with that. But so far so good. He's going to get that annoying sharp hide, but we've managed to subvert his most powerful attacks thus far. Deal 22 damage. Yeah, it's too good to ignore. We're gonna eat a little bit of damage, but that's fine. Defend, so we're only getting 4, and he's officially halfway down. I think we got this fight. I feel confident, guys. I think we'll be able to get this through and soar through episode 1 with flying colors. Let's battle trance it up. Let's kill this dude. Let's kill him, I say. That attack will hurt. Do I defend first and just let anger take care of it? Yeah. And, yeah. Anger. This hurts. Anger. Defend. We will be getting a little bit of... Yeah, we'll be suffering a little bit of damage, but he is vulnerable on him, so this is going to hurt him. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. Something along those lines. Let's go ahead and drink a skill potion. Ooh, double tap. I think it's going to be very useful. Yeah. We will use double tap. And we're just going to kick the crap out of this guy. Anger comes. Strike. Strike. Yeah, he's going to be going down. We've got a lot of damage going on him, even with that sharp hide ability. It's not going to do enough damage to us to it to be a noticeable threat. This is going awesomely, guys. I'm really excited. And double tap is also shuffle to 2 this combat. Yeah, let's just go ahead and play that with anger. And it's going to guarantee a win. Look at that. Defeated and vanquished. Heck yeah, guys. That is awesome. First boss in the bag. I'm going to go ahead and call episode 1 right here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Let's go ahead and pick our reward here. Gain 30 block. Oh my gosh. Bludgeon, which, bam, books a million. Youch. Oh man. I do not know which one to pick here. They're all really good, but really expensive. Honestly, with all the card draw cards that we have options. So let's go Bludgeon. And let's see what relic we have. We can do a Busted Crown, which will give us an extra energy at the start of our turn, so we'll have 4 energy to work with, but future card rewards have 2 less cards to choose from, so we lose a little bit of deck flexibility in that. Mark of Pain. Gain energy at the start of your turn. At the start of combat, shuffle 2 wounds into your draw pile. Not the best. Runic Dome. Gain energy at the start of your turn. You no longer can see enemy intents, which is horrible. I'm going to say, since we're kind of being picky about our card bill anyway, let's just go Busted Crown. And we will go ahead and proceed to the next. But once again, thank you guys so very much. I am White and Nerdy Man. I'm excited for the series to take off, and also, like I said, once we get the appropriate unlocks going, I would love to check out the Daily Climb, get that series going as well in parallel to this one. I want to get a good set schedule for for these to go up. I'm thinking about these are going to be less frequent, I think, than the daily climb once I get there. But hoping to get this up as often as possible, maybe every day. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll hash that out. If you like what you see, click like, hit subscribe. It would make me very, very happy. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Just let me know any feedback that you want. And once again, White and Nerdy Man, thank you very much, and we will see you next time on the next episode of Slay the Spire.